If you're just joining this journey without having watched the previous videos, this video series is the story of my overland adventure through Oregon and Washington. Over the span of 2 weeks, I traced approximately 2,600 miles of rugged backcountry roads and remote Pacific Northwest wilderness, living out of my Jeep dispersed camping the entire time. I mostly followed the Oregon and Washington Pacific Crest Overland routes, and the Olympic Traverse route. I also deviate from the PCORs and follow a few small sections of the Oregon and Washington backcountry discovery routes at times, since they crisscross each other many times and often follow very similar or identical paths.
Good morning. We're up and going. Slept alright last night, other than the random people driving by, and then a loud ass motorcycle gang rolling out at like 7:30. They probably woke up the entire county. But today's gonna be a good day. We're gonna hit up two more rainforests, including the most popular, most well-known one, I think, which is the Hoh Rainforest. So it's gonna be awesome.
This is day 2 of my time on the Olympic Peninsula. The day takes us approximately 123 miles from Kalaloch Campground on the coast, back up into the inland mountains, back down and up into the Hoh Rainforest and the Hall of Mosses Trail, and finally concludes at a dispersed camp right on the Hoh River, a short distance outside the national park entrance. The day had some epic sights, the absolutely legendary and breathtaking Hall of Mosses Trail, and some problem solving I had to do with the trusty old chainsaw. So stay tuned.
Trails Off-Road has this marked as a viewpoint. It is a decent viewpoint, but these big old piles of shit, it's kind of detracting from it. Good enough place as any. Get out and stretch for a bit. This place is really cool. I like how it has like alpine mountains like this, but also the valleys are a literal rainforest. It goes from alpine mountains to actual rainforest in the valleys. How cool is that? This is pretty though. There's like a light breeze. It's like, I don't even know what it is. 63, mid 60s probably. Within like probably an hour, we're gonna be in a actual temperate rainforest. I will say that these back roads of the Olympic Peninsula here, doing this, the traverse, are not even just the back roads, but like the inland campgrounds, other than the campground Kolach, whatever campground I stayed at last night. That was very busy. But all the other campgrounds and all these inland roads, I barely see anyone at all. This road, this entire off-road section here today, for like the past 2 or 3 hours, I've seen 2 dual sport bike riders, dual sport motorcycles, and that's it. And they passed me going the opposite way. Those are the only souls I've seen out here. And the same as yesterday, this whole time on the Olympic Peninsula, other than that campground and the beaches, very sparse. Not crazy busy like the area around Rainier and stuff was, which is much more of what I like. The less people, the better. This is the 3rd time today that I have bebopped past a turn and lost the trail while trying to fly the drone. All these trees are not friendly for active track with the drone. Not friendly. We've encountered a problem. As you can see, that is precisely, whoa, the road we need to go down to get back to Maple Creek Road. As I was sitting here trying to route find on my tablet, a truck just came up the road that says it's closed at Tacoma. Came up out of it, so it says it's closed 2 miles ahead. So we're going to go down and check it out, I guess. 2 miles isn't too terrible if we have to just turn around and come back. I think I found, and I'm hoping that this is why that road closed sign was there. Because if this is why, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. We got the trees across the road here. There were more down there that I kind of was able to get around and over. But these ones, I honestly don't know. I think I might be able to fit if I move this log, move this stump right here. If I move that out of the way so I can hug this wall real close, I think I can fit under there. I might have to trim some of those branches. I do have my chainsaw, so. I think I am gonna have to trim some of these smaller branches, but I think we can manage this. I did walk up there around the corner and it opens right up. So I think this is why it's closed. We're about to reopen it. As you can see, I trimmed a bunch of branches off that, trimmed some over here. I think if I really stay to this side of this wall, I think I'll fit under that now. I think we just reopen the road. That is why you carry a chainsaw, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna put the chainsaw up, move this stump, and I think we're gonna be good. Would I have been better off to possibly just reroute? Possibly. Would it have been as much fun? Definitely not. There's nothing real pokey on this tree here, which is good because I don't particularly feel like trying to move that thing. Sure, it's quite heavy. The time of truth has arrived. A moment of truth. I think we got plenty of room. We are golden. That was quite exciting. If you come up here, it just opens right up. So I am assuming and praying that that's why that road sign closed was there, or that road closed sign was there. Because if that's not why, then I just did all that work for nothing to have to still turn around. Thank God for that chainsaw, otherwise I wouldn't have been getting through there without. Some of those branches would have been tearing my tent open. And we are back on track. Look at this view. It was fun though. I love having to problem solve. That doesn't seem like something that would be fun, coming to a road blockage and having to chainsaw and squeeze through it. Every so often having to problem solve and just get through a route, solve problems, solve issues, is really mixes things up and really adds to the sense of adventure to me. It's also profoundly satisfying to me to be prepared for things like that, like coming up on something like that where a chainsaw is the only thing getting you through there. And having a chainsaw is so deeply satisfying to me. We are back to pavement. So that was indeed why that road closure sign was there. Thank goodness. Now we're back on track. Next stop, the Hoh Rainforest.
It's hard to actually put into words the Hollow Mosses Trail. The whole rainforest as a whole, but especially this trail. It's I just can't really find words to describe it. I can use the generic words like it's magical, breathtaking, wondrous, and I don't quite feel like those still do it the justice that it deserves. I think there's a very good reason why the Hoh Rainforest and the Hollow Mosses Trail is probably easily the most well-known rainforest on the peninsula, even though there's a handful of them. Hoh Rainforest typically receives between 140 and 170 inches of rain per year. That's 11.5 to 14 plus feet annually. It's one of the wettest places in the United States outside of Alaska and Hawaii. And around 160 days out of the year, it sees some amount of precipitation. Somehow, I happened to completely luck out and not get rained on at all during my 4 days here, I believe it was. But while this area was beautiful in the bright sunlight, I couldn't help but wonder what it must look like when it's kind of misty and foggy while lightly raining.
It's a whole lot of mushrooms. We just got out of Hoh Rainforest, the Hall of Mosses Trail, and oh my god. That was probably the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. I felt like I couldn't go 5 feet without being like my jaw dropping open and wanting to record and take a picture of something. I am actually tempted to come back here somehow tomorrow. So the plan is right now to go into Forks. Yes, that Forks, which is like 15 miles away, I think, or 15 minutes maybe. And I need food. I don't have any food left, so get food, refuel, and then we're gonna backtrack, I think, and try to camp near the Hoh Rainforest so I can go back through that trail again. I want to do that in the morning while the light's good, so I want to camp nearby it. I want to get as close as possible, camp as close as possible, so I can really do that first thing in the morning before heading out. Well, we're just leaving Forks to head back to the Hoh Rainforest area. I went to the car wash, the grocery store, and the gas station in Forks. And I'll have you know that I didn't see a single sparkling vampire. Kind of let down, honestly. Zero. While backtracking out of the national park back to Forks, I was trying to look up some camping options nearby. I wanted to get as close to the park as possible. I really didn't think dispersed options would be even a remote possibility, so I figured I'd have to stay at established campgrounds. To my surprise, while I was in Forks, after some internet sleuthing, I did find some possible sites right on the river here. And I'm really glad I did, because it turned out to be absolutely epic. Beautiful, right on the river, and not at a established campground with a bunch of neighbors 3 feet away. Although I did have to do a slight bit of hashtag Jeep things to get out of range of the vans. I actually find myself having to do this quite often, as van life has gotten quite popular. Not hating at all, because I'm actually quite jealous of their lifestyle and freedom, but I've got to the point where in most dispersed sites, I immediately go to the most rugged, rutted out, ditched, large rocks offshoots to get away from where the vans physically can't drive into, just for a little bit of solitude.